Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price action, I'd just like to say thank you for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why not turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Also, would be interested to hear, what do you guys think's going on? Do you think we have a bottom in and this is the start of a new bull run? Or what is your opinion? We'd be really interested to hear. Okay, so leave that in the comment section down below. Okay, let's jump into this now though. So there's a few things we need to talk about. This has actually come up higher than we had anticipated yesterday. And the way I was looking at this yesterday is that potentially we were with an expanding, extended fifth wave into this high point, and we had an alternative count, which I think is actually probably more likely now. So if I just come over here, and I'm going to actually switch it over to that alternative count because I think that this is more likely. So looking at this alternative count, we're looking at this as a 1-2, then this is a 1-2, then looking for the potential that we had a third wave into here, and that we had a fifth wave extending within that. So there's some interesting things about this. One of them I want to talk about is the potential that if we look at this as a fourth wave into here, and we're looking for the potential of a extension to the upside as a fifth wave, it is possible we could look to move up towards this 1636 zone at a 1-2-1. So this is something that could be quite an interesting zone here, and looking within these subwave structures here, it is possible that we could have an additional push to the upside here in this fifth wave. So invalidation of having this fifth wave push to the upside would actually be by crossing this 1438 zone. If we cross back below that, we would have to look at this either as a completed move into here and that we're potentially looking to pull down deeper, or alternatively we could be looking for further extension where this becomes a 1-2-1-2 again, and then actually this continues to progress to the upside, and what we would be is still within this yellow third wave, and it would be an extension somewhere else within these waves. It is dangerous to try and call these things completed when they're extending before they are, because basically what can happen is you only really get more confirmation of these moves, or be able to see the extensions clearly once it's completed. Otherwise, we just need to sort of watch zones and see how we react. I am still looking for a bigger retracement in this yellow fourth wave, and what they would be looking for is effectively this third wave to complete, and then looking for something similar in size to this. We don't have anything so far that sort of fits into that category. So I'd be still looking for it. It is possible that it could be completed here at this 1599.98, and we could actually be looking to break back down for this fourth wave. However, these subwaves are sort of indicating that we have some upside here. So if I just throw this into this low point here, what we can see is we've actually come down and we've already retested this 382. So it is possible that could be a completed fourth into this low point, and we don't actually look to move down past this area of 1503 again, and it could be, like I said, completed into there. Alternatively, we could get some other structures develop in here, like a triangle, or potentially this could come up again for a B wave and then come down for a C wave and move slightly lower, maybe retest this 50% zone. But if we do manage to break back above this high point, what we'd be looking for as a potential target for this zone would actually be up here, and I'm just going to throw this onto here, would be between this sort of 1623 to the 1662 area. So that's an interesting little zone there that we could look to push up into. That would also push us right into that zone of that 1-to-1 that we just previously talked about. So that could be something of interest within that move. If that is the case, then what I'd be looking for confirmation that it's completed would be this drop in this fourth wave to the downside. We were talking about this channel earlier, and we were actually speculating that we could see a move where we come here as an A, a B, and a C, and then we look for rejection. But we've actually progressed through this. So it's possible we could actually look to drop and retest this channel line with the fourth wave. If we had to push up one more time into that zone, basically what we'd be looking for then is effectively the potential that we could be looking for a fourth wave, which would be this yellow one here. The area we'd be interested in within this is potentially this previous fourth wave here, so which would be in line with this 236. If we do push back to the upside, that could either become an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave if we're going to look to push down, or alternatively that could be a completed correction and we could look to move up again, though it would have to get a bit more sideways. It would need to be a bit bigger, in my opinion, to match this wave too. So if we did get a deeper move here, potentially to this 382, maybe retest this trend line, this channel line rather, or even move down towards this wave 2 here, which could be an interesting area on this 1400. Sometimes when we get an extension within a fifth wave, what we can do on the next wave to the downside is we can actually look to push down and retest the second wave. So we need to just bear that in mind, that if we do get a deeper retracement, we could still be within this yellow fifth wave. If this develops as a zigzag, that would fit, although it could actually develop into something else as well. This does look like a 335 into there, so it would be expected to be a zigzag, though we'll have to wait for confirmation on that. Okay, so basically within this, what else we need to talk about is, we did say that this could potentially be completed here, and if that's the case, I'm just going to actually move this down onto that high point. If we do actually start to break down from here deeper towards this sort of 382 zone or the 0.5 area, which would take us right back into this channel line, the 236 is also sort of an area of interest, but like I said, I'd want to see this get a bit bigger, and if it does become a zigzag, then I'd be looking to actually test lower down in this range. If that's the case, effectively what we could be looking for is this third wave completed, looking for that as a fourth, and then looking to push up for a fifth wave again. Within this, moving down below this point here of this 1238 would actually invalidate having this additional fifth wave to the upside, and we'd have to reevaluate the structure within this and see what's going on if that does play out. But all in all, what we're looking for is evidence that we have a bigger white 5-wave structure here. So we're waiting to see if we have this confirmation. If we do move back up with this fifth wave, then I'd be looking for that fourth and an additional fifth wave to the upside. So these areas can sometimes fall into the same zones, and what we could be then looking for is basically, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the upside. However, if we do actually get the yellow 5-wave move play out, what we would also have to be careful of is the fact that we don't have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it actually falls down and has a deeper retracement than a typical, than this wave 4. And potentially, I mean, it depends exactly where we land up with this fifth wave, but if we look to retest the trend line, for instance, we could actually look for a move back down into this zone here, which was previous support, which we lost, and then we've managed to break back through. It's possible we could actually look to retest this and then move to the upside again. So we'd have to be careful that we don't have a 1, 2, 1, 2. Obviously, that would be a much more bullish potential. And we're going to go over some of these sort of macro plays in a second. What we'd be looking for then is effectively how we retrace for this move. If we actually retrace into this zone indicated here, basically, so if we are completed, if we're going to say we are completed, we'd be looking for that retracement to that sort of 50% to that 236, 1480 to 1356. However, if we push up, this obviously changes this target zone a little bit, so we need to see whether we get this fifth wave to the upside here, in my opinion. Looking at this, I just want to look at these moves on their own. I'm going to switch over to the 1 hour and I'm going to take these off. So we can also argue there's potential that we could be looking to break down. So like we were saying, we're looking for the potential that we have a zigzag coming out, a bigger zigzag pattern playing out here. So it is possible that we can look at this as a zigzag so far. So because we have 5-wave moves here, it's possible this could look actually to develop into a bigger structure. So what we'd be looking for potentially is if we actually look to break down from this location, if we break down past this 1449, then it would be actually indicating to me that we're starting to break down in a bigger structure. We have this as a 1, 2, looking for that 3, 4, and a 5. Then additionally, we would have another 1, 2. This would all become a 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. So that could actually look to be the start of a move towards this sort of support zone if we're looking for a deeper retracement here. And we just need to sort of see how we get on, because as long as this area holds here of this 1362, it's possible that we could still see some extension to the upside here. Breaking down below this zone would give me a bit more confidence that we could have had a high into here, though really we would actually want to see those support zones play out that we were talking about. You know, if we get a 5-wave move down here, we'd be anticipating to see another move to the upside and a 3-wave move like this. and then we'd be looking for an additional 5-wave move to the downside, though I do think that there is still that potential to push up. So that would be my most likely thing. But if we don't manage to do that and we actually look to break down below this 1438, then we'd have to treat this as a potentially completed move into there, and that we would actually look for new structure to develop and monitor that. That's the moves that we're looking for. We've got our little support zones, and we're going to be keeping an eye on that. I want to just talk about some things on the bigger time frames here. Basically, looking at this move that we have here, there's a few ways of looking at this, and we did discuss this in the Discord with some of the members about some of the potentials that we could see playing out here. And it is still possible that we could still look to this to develop as a diagonal pattern, because basically what we're looking for is a 5th wave potentially down into this 72390 to this 522.52 zone. So it is possible that we are actually still within this 4th wave. So we need to just bear that in mind. And if we do get a 5-wave move to the upside here, and then we break down in a 3-wave move to the downside, and then we look to progress in another 5-wave move to the upside until we cross this point here of this 2030, we would need to be careful that we don't have further extension. And, you know, this could then indicate that we have a triangle playing out within this zone, where this becomes an A, a B, a C, a D, and an E, and then we look to break down later. And this could then either be a 4th wave, or it could actually be just a connector wave. And then we look, if it's just an X wave as a connector instead of a 4th, and this is just an A, this becomes a B or an X. And then we look to push down for another 3-wave move. This would actually look to potentially push us even lower. So we need to just be careful with this structure that we have here. If I turn that back off for a second, what we could also have here, if we wanted to look at this, I haven't been looking at this as a 5-wave move because of the fact that from that 1.618, we actually didn't fail to form that 5th wave. So this is just a zigzag from this low point here, where this is an A, a B, and a C wave, because we moved up and we hit that 1.618, but we didn't actually develop a 4th and a 5th wave. So it's possible that this is actually just an ABC, and then basically from that it could give us the potential of forming a triangle in here, where this is an A, B, C, D, and E, and then we look to break down. We only get confirmation of a triangle once we form the D wave, so it would be very early days in this if we are looking at something like that kind of a potential. The alternative things we need to talk about within this is, it is also possible, if we're looking at this as an A wave to the upside as a zigzag, we could actually just form a 5-wave move up here. And whether this plays out as a flat, so an A, B, and a C, we'll be looking for this as a 5-wave move to complete. So whether we want to look at this as a 5 or a 3-wave move, it is still possible we could see a move to the upside here for the C wave. So the minimum that we'd be looking for this as a C wave would be that 0.618. And if I throw this onto here, we can see that the 0.618 is at 1800, and it sits quite nicely on this channel line. So if we did get a 5-wave move into this zone, it could technically be completed as an A, a B, and a C, and then we could still look to break to the downside. So we need to just give it a bit of time before we get too bullish on this, in my opinion, because what I'd want to see is either for this to be a 1, 2, so either for this to be a 1 and a 2, then we come up here for a 1 and a 2, and then we start to progress for that 3rd wave, or I'd want to see this actually play out as a completed 5-wave move within this structure here, where this is a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we look for that retracement, find support in that zone above this high point, above this low point here of this 1075, and then look for that progression to the upside in a bigger structure. So depending exactly where this 5-wave moves, we can argue that what we'd be looking for, if we did actually look to move back into that channel line, depends how long this takes, obviously, as to where it is. If we say this 0.618, this is an interesting area, lines up with this previous top here. what would be then be looking for is a move back down to this 0.618 area to the downside here, and that could potentially put us back in the range of this previous consolidation here. So if that ended up happening, where we form the structure as a 5-wave, we move back down into this zone, find support, then it's possible that we could look to progress to the upside as a bigger 5-wave structure. But at the moment, there's just not enough information, and this could be seen in a few ways, so we just need to give it a bit of time. We're going to be monitoring this and trying to keep you up to date as best we can, so I hope you appreciate that. And if you do, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and in the description below you'll also find a link to Discord. It's free to join, so you may as well come and join it. If you're trying to get hold of us, it's probably the quickest way of doing so. Mention a member of the team, we'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. In the description below there's also an affiliate link for BYBIT. This is a great exchange, it's the one that we use when we're trading, whether that's spot trading or leverage trading. Really is a great exchange to use. They've got great tools for risk management within there. You can see sort of if you set up the trade, you can see how much you'll win and lose if you set your take profits and stop losses, and where your liquidation levels and everything will be. But one thing that we do have to say is, please, if you're going to be trading with leverage, or actually any trading, always use a stop loss. We need to have good risk management. Never risk more per trade than you're willing to lose. Okay, so we're going to leave it there. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll see each other in the next video. Take care out there, everybody.